2 years ago, I had never done anything organic with my business. Like you said, I'm a Facebook ads guy. So I was always the paid ad stuff. And I just kind of got to a point where I'm like, I feel like I'm in a hamster wheel because in order to make money, I just got to spend more money. And I was getting great returns, but I was like, man, it would be nice to get some organic stuff. And so I joined this little business mastermind group, and I find out like the number of leads they're getting, how much money they're making, all completely organically. And I'm just like, man, I gotta figure that out, because that sounds awesome to be able to get that type of leads. Fast forward now, it's been about 2.5 years I've been on YouTube. I get about 50 to 60 leads per day organically. We're getting sales pretty much every single day. And not only that though, I think the biggest thing about YouTube, and this especially for agents, is the credibility, the authority, the rapport it builds with your audience. It's like the ultimate credibility, rapport building tool out there.
What's up, y'all? Got an amazing episode here for you. And I've wanted to have this guest you guys are going to have the chance to meet here in a second. I've been wanting to have Jason on for a while, and we connected the dots recently, which is awesome. And as of the time I'm recording this right now, I'm in my office. I'm the only one in 8,000 square feet here. So I am social distancing, but it's during the COVID stuff. So if you're listening to this outside of COVID, it doesn't matter, y'all, because this is going to be an evergreen piece of education that's going to be working for you for years. But especially right now during COVID, if you're listening to this around the time they're recording it, if you implement what we teach here, it's going to help you stand out even more during this time. So before I introduce our guest here, Jason, I want to tell you guys a quick little backstory. So right before I hit record, I was telling Jason, I'm like, man, I gave you a lot of credit, but then I forgot to give you credit on this recently. Is as we started to dive into the real estate agent side of things, 2.5 years ago, we were going, man, we've got the investor side on lock. Like we can bring in motivated seller leads online better than anybody on the investor side. We can bring in cash buyers better than anyone over there. But what we didn't have nailed was what's really working right now for the retail side. So we started to test a bunch of stuff. We reached out to Jason and I said, who are the people that I know better than anybody that knows the agent market, knows how to generate leads like clockwork, and are really good at what they do? And so I reached out to Jason. And he said, hey, here's a couple things that are working. We went away and tested one of those things with a client. The first one was here locally. And we might talk about what this is and how you guys can work with his company to do it. Or we've got one of these little templates built into our stuff. But it generated like 80 something buyer leads within a week or two for under $1 a lead. Now that same strategy is still working today. Recently, one of our clients in Spokane used this property specific landing page strategy to generate dozens of leads under $1 that they're pumped about. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I want to find what's working with paid traffic, especially on the agent side, this guy right here, Jason Wardrop, is your man. So without further ado, welcome on the Carrot Cast, man.
Hey, Trevor. Thanks, man. And thanks for that nice little intro there. Glad things worked out for you.
Dude, no, it was fun. Yes, dude. The coolest thing about it is, I mean, number one, I appreciate the heck out of you sharing with us, because there is some minor overlap in some of the products that we offer, but you guys hyper focus in on the paid side of it really well, and now YouTube, which we're going to talk about YouTube a lot. And we hyper focus in on the organic side, and it just so happens that we both got to be really good at converting visitors into leads, whether it's paid or organic. So. Guys, I want you guys to check them out. But before we dive into the topics of how do you leverage YouTube to generate amazing leads as an agent, and you guys can leverage this for investors as well. And we'll probably touch on some Facebook stuff. Jason, why don't you let people know who you are? What's your business? Where do you live? I always kind of like to know, like, what's your family life look like so people can see the man behind the man there. Who are you? Where do you live? What's your business?
Totally, man. So my name is Jason Wardrop, and I work with real estate professionals, help them generate leads and follow up with those leads so they can book more appointments, close more deals. And we've got a software company called Arsenal MKG, Arsenal Marketing. So it leverages Facebook and Instagram ads, be able to pull in those leads, and then having the email, text message, Facebook Messenger bot follow up. And then we sync it in with your appointment calendar, be able to help you book more leads on autopilot. So that's kind of the software tool. We've been at it. Tomorrow actually is our 5-year anniversary.
Dude, congrats.
Someone was asking me earlier, they're like, how long have you been in business? I was like, 5 years tomorrow, actually. So pretty exciting. But we are right now in Gilbert, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. We moved here about a year ago. So my wife and we got a little 18-month-old boy.
Cool.
And we try to get out of Phoenix during the summer. So in about a month, we'll try to make it up to Utah to get out of the heat. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's me, man.
Dude, so my wife and I, we were in Gilbert. I don't know why I didn't realize that you had moved down there. So we were in Gilbert last fall for a half marathon that like the whole town shuts down. Yeah. And it was the
turkey trot.
Yeah. Okay, it probably was that. Yeah. So it was a blast. Gilbert's a cool town. I love it. Well, dude, let me toss this your way, because I was on a podcast right before this, and the person asked a really good question. Like, so how did you get into what you do? How did you learn all this stuff? Because what you do, what we do is far beyond knowing how to set up a website. It's far beyond knowing just how to set up an ad campaign or something like that. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and years that went into learning this stuff to make it actually work. So what's your background that kind of led you to what you guys are doing right now?
Totally, man. So it's probably not the pathway that I would recommend to other people. There's a lot of trial and error along the way. But I was always interested in the internet, digital marketing. So I remember back in college, I was one of those nerds that I wouldn't go out to the parties. I would stay in reading blogs and watching videos, trying to figure all this stuff out. And so I started kind of, learning about like even SEO back at the time, which I know nothing about SEO now, but started learning those tactics, those techniques, and then kind of led me to more of the lead generation side of things. I was like, okay, well, traffic's good, but leads are really where it's at. And then after that, following up, conversions. So then from there, that kind of led me into building my own marketing agency. And at the time, I was working with like any and every client, chiropractors, dentists, real estate agents, network marketers, anyone I could kind of really help out at the time, anyone who would be willing to let me work with them. And what I kind of thought, I was like, man, it'd be really nice, because we were using all these different softwares at the time. This is before a lot of the current big softwares that everyone uses now. Yep. But I was like, man, it'd be really nice if there was one software that had like the landing pages, the follow-up, everything all integrated. So we can just like, we don't have to have multiple different softwares and integrate everything together. And so I partnered up with this developer, and at first we were kind of just like building out part-time, just moving super slow. And then I was like, you know what, let's just go all in. So we went and we raised a little bit of money and started going at it. And yeah, here we are 5 years later. I mean, we were probably 2.5 years just kind of doing it part-time on the side before we both just jumped in full-time and decided to make it happen.
Dude, that's awesome. One thing that I always love about the entrepreneur story is, number one, it takes a leap of faith, right? Like it takes some sort of a leap of faith to go, I've got a vision. It's out here. Where I am is here. And there's some sort of a gap, a chasm that you've got to get over. And almost never does it not require a leap of faith. Totally. And so you guys raised some cash, which is awesome. Is that investor still involved? Is it something where the investors, they're still there?
Yeah, cool. They're still involved. They're actually a great investor. So cool. Very low maintenance. I know other investors can be kind of higher maintenance. So it's been a great relationship.
Awesome, dude. So on the agent lead side of things, how did you specialize in that side of things, like the real estate agent side of it?
Yeah. So back before we started really with the software, we were working with all different types of clients, right? And so then we jump into the software space and we start building the software out for all of our different types of clients. And we're like, because really the concept of lead generation, from a dentist to a chiropractor to a real estate agent, it's all the same concepts: landing page, follow up, and ad. And so we're like, man, we're going to be able to grow this all different small businesses and be huge. And then we were having the hardest time getting new users onto the software, because any chiropractor we talked to, they'd be like, well, what are the chiropractors have been on? And then what other dentists have been on? And so they're all wanting like case studies of somebody like them. And at the time we had a lot of success with a couple of real estate agents in our marketing agency. We had gotten some really good leads coming in. And I was like, you know what, like real estate agents has kind of been our bread and butter. It's really worked well. And then we can build upon our past successes. And so when new agents come on, we don't have to be like, oh yeah, we actually have never worked with an agent. We can say like, yeah, this person and this person and this person. That's honestly the last 5 years. Like
Yep.
we dove in just real estate 4 years ago, but we have just literally promoted other people's success stories and case studies. And that's pretty much how we've grown the whole business.
Dude, so here's something I want to point out. And the reason I asked that question is because, especially with real estate agents, but also happens with investors, is when a market's going up and you're out there doing your thing, it's easier to get business, right? Like you don't really have to go out there and niche down per se.
Yeah.
But whenever I talk to agents, one of my main things I guide them on is first of all, what are the niches you want to focus in on? Now, it doesn't mean you only have to do those. And that's where a lot of them get stuck. It doesn't mean I only have to work with first-time home buyers or whatever it is. But if you don't niche your message down, what happens is you start to create marketing or your messaging that doesn't attract the right person or doesn't resonate with anybody. They think by limiting who we're talking to that it's actually going to reduce their business. What actually happens is it increases their business because then people see, oh shoot, so Arsenal Marketing, they specialize in real estate agents. Awesome. They have what I need. They're speaking the language to me. The things that they're saying are specifically about the problems I have. Awesome. I'm going to work with them. They understand me. As an agent, y'all, the same thing happens. Like if you guys are experts in certain neighborhoods, that's the content you need to be putting out so people can see, oh, they're experts in that neighborhood. That's where I want to live. Awesome. They understand me. They're talking the same guys, niche down. I have a lot of content on that for sure. But it was a cool parallel because once you guys did the niche, then you started to grow. Agents, totally. Same thing's going to happen to you guys.
Totally, sure. Man. No, I love that.
Dude, so let's dive in. We're going to talk about a couple things here. So I know you guys are really, really good at Facebook, and you're also really good at YouTube. And I've been seeing a lot of your emails come through talking about all the leads you're getting through YouTube and a bunch of cool stuff. So let's dive in for a little bit on the Facebook side at the start, and then we'll kind of transition to the YouTube side. So you guys drive a lot of traffic through YouTube ads, through all kinds of stuff. What's working for you guys right now the best? Like what kind of a model? Are you driving to landing pages? Sounds like you are. How are lead ads performing, and what types of ads or targeting is working for you guys?
Yeah, totally, man. So as most people know watching this, Facebook's kind of changed their algorithms. It was about a year ago that they started shifting it, or maybe a year and a half, they started shifting it. And then more about a year ago, they kind of forced this special ad category. So a lot of the targeting and everything is limited. And back in the day, I remember so many agents would come to me and they'd want to get super detailed with the interest targeting and the exclusions and the inclusions and all this stuff. But the thing is, the way the Facebook ads algorithm works is it actually likes bigger audiences. And I'm sure you know this, Trevor, but anytime you go and make an exclusion or you add an inclusion, it actually increases your CPM, which is your cost per 1,000 impressions. And so Facebook actually likes to kind of go do their thing. And it actually makes it so much easier on our end. And a lot of times we're actually trying to make things harder than they actually are. And so basically, as far as like the targeting goes, what we do is we go through and we start out, special ad category with the housing. And if you're brand new, if you don't have any business, then it's all kind of cold ads going to people that probably don't know who you are. Yep. But it's great to go through and market from your Facebook business page. It's got your profile picture, it's got your name, get a little personal branding in there, right? And then on top of that, what you can do is do some retargeting. So once you build out a decent sized audience of people who have engaged with your Facebook page, okay, so you don't have to send them to your website. Just people that have maybe liked it, commented or whatever, people that visit your website, you can upload your existing database into Facebook. Then you have all these custom audiences that you can just retarget and show these ads to, and those perform extremely well. Dude. Now, as far as like the ads that have worked really well, especially right now and even in times past, is and you referred to one of them a little bit earlier, but if you've got a listing go through a market, that like we've got a template and Trevor's got it and he can share with you guys that is by far the number one performing ad. We're seeing leads consistently time and time again for the last 4 years for less than $5 per lead with that template. So basically it's just marketing a listing. And if you don't have a listing, you can ask another agent in your office, hey, can I go through and market this listing? That works great as well. Usually they'll let you do it. And then also we have a buyer leads template, which is basically a homes list. So super simple. It's like, hey, here, welcome to or get the Portland, Oregon homes under $500,000 list, or under 400, or whatever the target range is. And so those are probably our two consistently best performing ads.
Cool.
And then I keep rambling here. I'm getting excited about this stuff, but
this is good.
We'll send them to landing pages. But then also what we've seen work best right now is even lead forms. And as far as like the lead costs, it kind of can vary depending on the area, but we'll typically see an average lead cost of $5 to $6 per lead nationally. Some a little bit lower, some a little bit more. But the lead forms, the great thing about them is that Facebook will auto-populate the name, the phone number, the email address into the lead form. So a lot of times you get a lot less bogus information than you typically would on a landing page.
Yep. And dude, that's such a good piece of advice there, because especially for buyers, right? That was one thing when we first tested that landing page type. And for all of you on YouTube, you guys are going to get a special treat. I'm just going to show really, really quick, kind of what Jason's talking about. So this is a version of that. I'm sure you could do various looks and feels and stuff. This one here is set up on our system. But like I said, guys, we modeled this after some advice that Jason gave us. So if you guys want to go direct to the source, those guys are testing a lot of this stuff. Since then, we've been testing a lot of other stuff as well. But man, they have some amazing stuff over there. But it's really simple, right? If you're listening to this in the podcast, I'll explain it. But it's a big picture of the property, like something that's a striking photo of the property. This one happens to be the view, because that's the main thing about the property. And then it's just get instant access and price to the pictures. And then we just kind of put of this amazing Horizon Avenue property, and it's just asking for an email. And so the majority of the leads that are going through there are legit emails. But like Jason said, anytime you're asking for a little bit of information for a property, you'll get some bogus ones for sure. And that's where the lead ads will eliminate that part of it. One thing that we have found with our data that's interesting too is we'll often find that lead ads for motivated sellers the same way, but lead ads tends to be a cheaper lead for sellers than driving them to the site. But in our data, we end up finding that the actual close percentage on the leads that go to the website are higher by a large margin than the lead ads, because they get a chance to click around. If it's a website set up good, right? They get a chance to click around, see your about page, see your content, see your credibility. Those close at a much higher rate. But either way, get the leads however you guys can get them. And then on the lead ad ones, then you circle them back and start to show up that credibility on videos and ads and Facebook. So you can still get the best of both worlds. Just test them both. See how they work for you guys.
Totally, man.
I like it. Well, dude, I want to dive into the Facebook or the YouTube side of things, because that's something I know you're passionate about, but also it's something that most agents and investors just don't touch. I think it's a mystery to them. They think it's probably playing around rather than something serious that can get results. So what are you doing on YouTube, and what type of results or what types of things should agents or investors do?
Yeah, so I've got this kind of formula framework that I'll share with you guys here in a second. But I mean, just to show like kind of the power of YouTube. So 2 years ago, I had never done anything organic with my business. Like you said, I'm a Facebook ads guy. So I was always the paid ad stuff. And I just kind of got to a point where I'm like, I feel like I'm in a hamster wheel, because in order to make money, I just got to spend more money. And I was getting great returns, but I was like, man, it would be nice to get some organic stuff.
Yep. And
so I joined this little business mastermind group, and I didn't realize at the time, but a ton of the guys in there were these big YouTubers, and they kind of talked about like what they were doing. And I had no idea who they were, because I was never really on YouTube previous to kind of joining this group. And I find out like the number of leads they're getting, how much money they're making, all completely organically. And I'm just like, man, I gotta figure that out, because that sounds awesome to be able to get that type of leads. And so anyway, fast forward now, it's been about 2.5 years I've been on YouTube. I get about 50 to 60 leads per day organically. We're getting sales pretty much every single day. And not only that though, I think the biggest thing about YouTube, and this especially for agents, is the credibility, the authority, the rapport it builds with your audience.
Yep.
because I've got people all the time. There's this lady just last week. She's like, man, I've been following you on YouTube for years now. And I just finally decided to buy, right? And then this other guy was on a call with this morning. He's like, yeah, I've been following you for a year on YouTube and I just decided to buy. So it's like the ultimate credibility, rapport building tool out there. Dude.
And actually, do you want to share, do you have the iPad hooked up to your computer? If not, that's cool.
Yeah. Let me share it really quick.
That'd be awesome, man. Dude, so we're both coached by the same guy, by Dan Martell. And I don't know about you, but I've been like jamming on the whole iPad hooked up to my computer, drawing stuff all the time. So I love it. Anytime I get the chance to draw and doodle on it, I love it. Dude, so before you dive into this, this is really, really cool. Before you dive in this is what I want everyone to think about. So if you're an agent or an investor and you're looking at what do I do with my marketing moving forward? How do I build a business that's going to give me consistency and predictability? One of the things that Jason mentioned before is paid ads are great. Guys, we use them, right? But we use the phrase a lot, y'all, hamster wheel marketing versus evergreen marketing, right? And so he felt the hamster wheel effects of that. And it's not that he's turning them off, right? He just wants to go, cool, that works. But it requires this churn. Now let's go over here and start to stack on more of the evergreen, more of the organic stuff. And that's where this is really important. And when you guys use this in conjunction with our video post feature, so create the videos like Jason's going to say, and then plug them into our video post feature to then get them onto the Google organic side of things. It's going to be amazing. So dude, I'd love to see this framework, man.
Okay, awesome. And I kind of tied in your video post features. Trevor and I, we were talking this last week, and he was showing me the cool tools. I'm like, man, I gotta get this into this framework right here. Cool. So I know some people are listening to this on podcasts. So I'll try to explain everything that's going on, but this is our YouTube growth formula framework. And you can go to YouTube to kind of check out this video that Trevor's got here on his channel. But basically the whole core of this, and this goes right along line with what Trevor's just saying, is we want to create some evergreen content right here. Okay. So for those listening, I've got a triangle, and in the middle of that triangle, it says evergreen content, right? Mm-hmm. And then to the right of that triangle, we've got the top 3 to 5 questions. And I'm going to explain those here in just a second. So cool. The top 3 to 5 questions, I want you to list out what are the top 3 to 5 questions that you get on an ongoing basis in your business. Mm. So if I'm a real estate agent, probably like, oh man, like, do you know what my home's worth, what the value of my home? How can I increase the value of my home? Just different questions like that. Because like for me in my business, I help real estate agents. So one of our top videos is the best 3 Facebook ads for realtors. It's got like over 60,000 views because a lot of agents ask me always like, hey, what are the best Facebook ads for realtors, right? Mm-hmm. So we go through and we create these topics right here. And then these are just kind of the initial videos, right? So we've got this evergreen content. We got these 3 to 5 questions, and this will turn into 10 and 12, but just so you don't get kind of like overwhelmed by the whole thing, we're just going to stick with the 3 to 5 at the get-go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create videos on those top 3 to 5 questions. And these videos don't have to be very long. They can be 2 to 3 minutes long, answering the question, kind of your take, your perspective on that question. Okay. And they don't have to be crazy professional. So I grew my YouTube channel to over 40,000 YouTube subscribers, shooting every video on my phone. Okay. It was literally, I think it was like 6 months ago, I bought this nice expensive camera. And to be honest, I only use it about 50% of the time because it just is a hassle to get all set up. Yep. And so I still like just like computer, phone, just simple, just get it done, knock it out so I can go through and add the content. So go through. And what I like to do is I get these top 3 to 5 questions, these topics, and I'll bust out all 3 to 5 videos in the same day, because what we're going to do is we are now going to schedule these videos out on your YouTube channel, 1 a week for the next 3 to 5 weeks.
Gotcha. I like that.
So the thing about this, like where YouTube, and this is like the very beginning when I started getting into it, I was shooting new videos every single day because I was like, man, I got to like go and get content out there. And you just get so burnt out. Yep. And the time it takes to go through, set everything up, take everything down, edit, if you just knock it out in one afternoon, you could easily get 3 to 5 videos shot in about 2 to 3 hours.
Yep.
And so you've got 2 to 3 hours of work one afternoon. You've got the next 3 to 5 weeks scheduled out. And then at the top of the triangle here, we'll change the color over here for all of us. We've got the first thing is we've got our database. Okay, so this is what I do every single time I launch a new video. Because guys, I'm not like some SEO wizard, some marketing guru like that with the organic side of things. Like I've literally just like forced my channel kind of into existence, and this is exactly how I've done it. So what we're gonna do is week 1, you're gonna launch the first video, and then more than likely you have some type of existing database, right? And more than likely it's answering a question that database and other people probably have. And so you're going to now go send out an email as soon as that video gets launched saying, hey, have you ever wondered, the value of your home? I discussed some different tips, blah, blah, blah. Click on this link. And so now we blast out an email to this video, and YouTube likes to see engagement, watch time, likes, views, all that stuff in the first 24 to 48 hours of launching the video.
Gotcha.
So we'll get this initial spike right here. And then that kind of leads into number 2 down here, which is your organic search. Okay, so this is YouTube and then also Google. So this is where like let's say someone's typing in something into, and Trevor, you know better on the keywords and all that stuff than I do, but someone's typing in, Portland, Oregon home values or something like that. Well, then you can get your video ranking in YouTube. A lot of times you can get your YouTube videos ranked on Google. And then this is where Carrot's awesome tool of the video post, where you just upload the video into their video post creator. It'll transcribe the whole video, and then you can rank that website in Google as well, right?
Yep. I love it. So
anyway, so this is kind of any question on this so far, Trevor?
Dude, the couple things, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The couple things I want to really point out to people is a lot, and I'm very guilty of this, dude. A lot of people skip number 1. They upload the video, they might share it on social. Hopefully they're using video posts, but then they're like, they don't email it to their database. And I'm guilty of that, right? So guys, right there, that's a big deal, because if you want to continue to build authority with your clients, they're the perfect ones to get that too. So don't skip that part of it. And if you don't have a way to email your database, let's say you've got a bunch of leads, but you don't have an email thing, export them from whatever it is and upload them into MailChimp or whatever you need to do. But I love that. So number 1, email it to your database, text it, whatever you need to do. Number 2, optimize it using the stuff that Jason talked about for organic search on YouTube and getting into video posts for Google. I love it, man. What's number 3?
So just one last thing on the database too, is in a world where we're always trying to pitch and sell.
Yep.
It's just a pure value add. That's a great thing about it right there.
I love it.
And then number 3 over here is paid ads. And this is how we can truly continue to make, all 3 of them really combined, but this is how we can really continue to make it evergreen. And I'm going to just draw down here on this next little, just below this right here, how we actually make this work with the paid ads.
Cool. I love it.
So everyone knows here, I'm a big Facebook, Instagram advertising guy, right? And this could work even if you're doing organic lead generation, because the great thing about YouTube as well, another piece of the evergreen content, what you want to do is in the description of the video, as well as in the top comment of the video, you're linking back out to your landing page or your website. So it's just a full circle.
Cool.
Right?
Cool.
So then down here, the paid ads part, what we're going to do is we're going to have like a Facebook or Instagram ad, right?
And are you taking that video and uploading it natively to Facebook and Instagram, or are you using the YouTube link?
So I'm just so the paid ads part, I'm not uploading that to Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, cool.
I'm actually I'll show you here in just a second how we do it. So we got the Facebook or Instagram ad, and we're running our normal lead generation campaigns, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're marketing a listing, buyer leads, seller leads, whatever it is. So you've got your landing page. or this could be a lead form, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the key thing is after someone opts into a lead form or to a landing page, the fortune's in the follow-up. We've all heard that a million times. So we want to have an email, text. If you have a Facebook Messenger bot, we want to have all these follow-ups in place. But what I do to go through and have evergreen content with people always coming back to these videos is I will go through and immediately I'll send out an email and I'm delivering whatever content was promised on the landing page, right?
Yep.
But then what I'll do is I will drip on them 7 days later with, like, let's say video number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I'm going to do the next week, 14 days later, I'm going to drip on them with video number 2. So then we initially get our database right here, kind of spiking the viewer, the engagement, everything on YouTube.
Yep.
And then that's going to help us rank in YouTube search engine, rank in Google search engine. And then to continually give that the juice to keep it ranked and keep everything that's going on, we have our paid ads that we're running anyway, or we're doing some, organic stuff as well. And then we have this dripped in this follow-up. So we're getting people back into these videos. Because the thing is when you send this out to your initial database, it's new to all them, but then they've seen it, right?
Yep.
But then the brand new people that come in through your paid ads down here, they've never seen it. And so we still want them to see it because it's still a hot topic that people like and they want answers to.
Dude, and one of the amazing things about this too, dude, we're so in alignment. Like, it is awesome. One of the amazing things about this too is, like you said, it makes it evergreen at that point, right? Because where I'm guilty of it, and I think most people are too, you'll record that awesome video, you'll upload it to Facebook. People are pumped about it for a couple of days, but then you don't save the video to recycle back to another person who's introduced to you. Or over here, same thing. You send it through to your email database, and you're always on that hamster wheel of always having to create new content because you're never, you already sent them the thing. But This is where it's perfect, because now as you get new people coming in, technically, as far as for new people, you might have 6 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years worth of good relevant content in the bucket for them to be getting, which, dude, that right there creates the consistency. That creates the predictability. Then all you got to do is get people to the darn landing page. Like, get people to landing page with your new content, shove them in there. I love it. And
so one last thing on this, because you were asking, like, oh, do you upload that to Facebook or Instagram? And I'm with you, man. I'm all about the evergreen stuff.
Yep.
So the thing I don't like about Facebook and Instagram is nothing's evergreen. Like, you upload it there, it's got maybe a 24, 48 hour lifespan, and then it's dead. No one's going to go through and find that in your newsfeed. Whereas with YouTube, that's why I promote it first and then get the traction on the back end through YouTube, because I have videos I posted 2.5 years ago. They still get thousands of views every single month.
Yep.
And it's just an evergreen channel. It's the best.
Dude, so one thing people can do here, and I've got a framework called the Authority Builder. And it's funny, like I'm either a pyramid guy, like doing the pyramids like this, or I've started to use it's not Martell's, it's the guy that Martell follows, but like the kind of the 3 Venn diagram thing with stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But one thing that's in common about ours, which is really cool, is it's the pyramid thing. But then it talks about mine specifically breaks out into niches. Now here's where this is important. What Jason's walking through, guys. Now I want you guys to picture this. And so if you're watching the visual of this is awesome. So Jason has the questions. He asks the questions. What are the objections or questions people have? But frame that around a niche. Okay, frame it around, well, this niche of first-time home buyers, or this niche of this neighborhood, or this niche of these types of sellers, this niche of probate or vacant land or vacant, like whatever it is, write those niches down and then do the questions on those niches. And then those landing pages we talked about down below could be on those niches. You might have a landing page for this type of a niche idea, this type of a niche idea, your North Umpqua River Homes, this neighbor, whatever it is, home value and blah. So then, if someone's opting into that landing page that they're likely interested in that niche, and now you drip them those videos from that niche first, like get them through that niche series, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos in the niche series first. And then you can plug in the other ones that are not specific to that niche, but really highly valuable. And that's how you really drill into the niche deep and become that local authority, because they're going to look at it and go, man, Jason knows a lot about, YouTube for real estate agents, or Jason knows a lot about this neighborhood in town because he sent me 4 videos on that neighborhood. Any agent can do that. He's just the one who did it, who actually did do it and structured it in a way to where it got in front of you. Yeah, I love it.
And one thing, I love the niches. That's dead on, 100% accurate. One thing I would say though to agents, don't get down on yourself if your videos are only getting 40 to 50 views or 100 views, because when you're in a local community, especially if it's a smaller community, there's not a ton of people. So there's not going to be you can't compare yourself to a channel that's got millions of subscribers. Every video gets millions of views and all that stuff. You got to compare yourself to yourself within that niche in your community, and just know your video could have 40 views, but one of those views could be worth 10 to 20 grand to you.
Dude. Yep. And here's an example I use quite a bit. So North Umpqua River Homes, it's the river that we live on here. We have a local agent. Their office is right down here. I use them to buy it. They're a client of ours. They rank #1 in Google on our system with the local location page for anything around North Umpqua River Homes for sale. And then you click it and land there. There's a landing page specific to North Umpqua River Homes that guides. Now they haven't followed through and done the content. Like I've been trying to say, guys, do this content, like do a niche video series on the thing. And what are they're not doing it yet. But the cool thing is if they were to do it, they'd get more leads. But even with that, they don't get a lot of leads through it, but they get probably a lead to 2 leads a month through that really niche opt-in page because they're ranking there. And I mean, this is a town of 25,000 people, but those are higher end homes. For the most part, you're talking $500,000 home or more. You don't need a lot. I mean, let's say you get 12 to 15 of those leads a year. I mean, they're really hyper targeted. Let's say you close 2 or 3 of them in a transaction. That's, $10,000, $20,000 in commissions potentially. So it's worth creating that content. Dude, I love this, man. What are the ways? Because I know you do a lot of content. So where if people are interested in this topic, where do they go to learn more from you on this topic? Because I know, like you said, you have 60,000 followers on YouTube. Where should they go?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say go check out my YouTube channel. I share pretty much everything for free over there. Probably share too much. But yeah, just go check out. I've got a lot of videos, even breaking down different YouTube growth strategies, different formulas, different ideas and stuff like that there. So yeah, I'd probably just go check out my YouTube channel. Tons of free content over there, and it's probably the best place to start.
I love it. And we'll link Jason's YouTube channel up in the show notes. Would they just search your name, or is the YouTube channel under Arsenal Marketing?
Yeah. Just search my name, Jason Wardrop.
Awesome. Sweet, dude. Man, this is amazing. So guys and gals, I want to recap a couple things here with you. Okay. First of all, we dove into some Facebook stuff. So we dove into a couple ad types and a couple landing page types. They're working really well. They've been working really well. I think they'll continue to work really well for years. There was a property specific one. And then there was the buyer, the buyer lead form, not lead form, but the buyer opt-in page kind of situations. Yeah. Hey, Portland properties under 600K, or Portland properties with a swimming pool and blah, like a niche specific one, right? So those are working great, especially for Facebook ads. Number 2, we talked about the YouTube side. So if you guys are just listening to the audio part, go to carrotcast.com, click the video version of it, because Jason drew out a visual of the whole thing. Take a screenshot of that visual and make that your map. And if you haven't already, dude, you should you might already be working on it, but you should turn that into some sort of a fancy PDF or something.
I should.
Let me share this with you really quick, because what I was doing, man, is I was over and over again, writing and drawing the same darn thing all the time. Oh, yeah. Let me just have my graphic guy turn into this into something. And so the authority builder is kind of our version of part of that. I absolutely love how you went so much deeper on the YouTube side and how you did the follow-up part of it. We didn't touch any of the follow-up part, but then as you go through, just kind of map out some of this stuff on here.
Yeah, love this.
And then you can hand that puppy out to people and generate a lot of leads, which would be really cool.
Yeah, I love it, man.
I love it. So let me stop the share here. Well, Jason, dude, I want to bring you back on for sure. I know we didn't have enough time here. Maybe we can bring you on and dive deeper on one of these topics. But guys, I want you guys to go check out Arsenal Marketing. And like I said, they have an amazing tool for follow-up, email, and it's got text, right? And then you guys have amazing things over there for the chatbot side of things. And they have a great software for landing page and all the follow-up. And if anyone's wondering, is there overlap? There's a little bit of overlap, but honestly, guys, I want you guys to use whatever the tool is that best suits your company. If it's Carrot, use Carrot. If it's their tool, use their tool. I just want to see you guys be successful. So go check them out. And at the very, very least, go dive into their training over there. And they do have services as well that can do the traffic side for you guys on Facebook, which we don't serve you there at all. So if you're an agent, reach out to them. They can be an amazing source there. And the cool thing about it is I endorse everything they do. They're very in line with the way that we teach. Like, it's funny, dude. I didn't see that framework before you saw it. I'm like, we're so in line on our strategies here. But you took it up a notch. You took it up some levels, which is amazing. So, Jason, thanks for coming on here, man. Everyone go follow him, Jason Wardrop, on YouTube. He's got a lot of free information over there. Go over to Arsenal Marketing. Just Google it, or arsenalmkg, right?
Yeah,
.com.
Exactly.
And check out what they've got. Dude, I appreciate you. Any final parting words for the agents and investors watching or listening to this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, just be consistent with it. Just get a schedule down and just say, like, hey, once a month, you're going to shoot 3 to 5 videos. Take 2-3 hours, make it happen, and be consistent, and you'll knock it out of the park.
I love it. Well, dude, and oh man, one thing that popped up in my mind is, once again, guys, take his strategy that he talked about and integrate it in with video posts. That's where you get the 1, 2, 3 punch there. And like, that's where the power is. You take the video and it goes to YouTube, which helps with the organic search on YouTube. It goes on to Google search now with the Carrot side of things, with taking that video and yanking all the words and making an article. And then you're taking it and amplifying it over on Facebook. We're able to touch all 3 of those. That's where you really get that consistency, really get that predictability. Most agents are just over on Facebook or Instagram. That's it. They're just over there and they're on the hamster wheel. Like, you got to be on it forever over there. Okay, do your stuff over there, but then start to add on your YouTubes and your Googles through Carrot and through Jason's training there. All right, guys.
With that too, man, I'll throw in one last thing.
Yeah.
And this is definitely more towards the Carrot route for sure. People don't realize how much bigger Google and YouTube are than Facebook and Instagram. How much more traffic, how many more people, how much more ad spend happens over there. So if you're not taking advantage of that, you're missing out on a ton of traffic, a ton of leads and results for your business, for sure.
I love it. Jason, appreciate you, man. Guys, go follow Jason. Just go into Jason Wardrop University on YouTube and just sock away for a couple hours a week. You guys will be nailing it. But thank you guys very much. Have an amazing week. As always, subscribe to this if you're not. You get these a week early when you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts or Spotify versus when they land on the blog. And also, we're just so appreciative of you guys. We love building this community here with you. Agents, investors, we're bringing the industry together and bringing amazing people like Jason onto the podcast. So thank you guys. Have an amazing rest of the week. We'll talk soon.